Disclaimer. The opinions expressed in this show are unfiltered and unrehearsed. Statements conveyed are personal and issued to the best of the ability and knowledge of the cast. They should not be taken as conclusive facts. Does This Offend You is not responsible for any mental, physical, or emotional damage sustained by its listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to another episode of Does This Offend You? Today we talk about clickbait, how much I hate fake prank videos, the pride flag, and how racist you really are for believing in racial equality. All that and more coming right up. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
What do I have to say to make some money? What do I have to say to make some money?
If you take mushrooms, you rewrite the code. Don't Jesus.
Exactly.
Hey,
What?
are you just, or is like life is this whole joke like life's an analogy? Like it's a video game, it's a big construct?
No, I'm saying it is I'm saying it is a video game. When you die, you just wake up, start a new game, and give some test notes to a dev developer.
Yeah.
We're
Is
all
this what
tied to
simulation
Zuckerberg.
theory is?
Yeah.
That's what Vlad thinks we're in, or that's what Vlad wants. He never shuts up about it.
I mean,
I still don't understand what simulation theory is, if I'm being honest. Is it just like the Matrix is real?
Well, that's the best comparison we have pop culture-wise. The simulation theory is just that everything around us is created to trap us inside of a world to, for whatever reason, to not make us pay attention to what's really happening in the real world. So all of this is fake.
So that just kind of reminds me of conspiracy theory more than anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was listening to this comedian, and he made a really funny comparison to the government and parenting. How he's like, yeah, like as a parent, I only have one kid, and I lie to that guy all the time. The government is responsible for everybody. You don't think they lie to you too? And he's like, that's just ignorant. People should believe in conspiracy theories more often. And I was like, man, that actually kind of is true.
That is, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
shameless plug here to the last time Chase was on the show. Talked about how like the government is like the parent and the country is the kid. Is that a censorship episode? Yeah. You made a very cool comparison to between the two.
I stole that analogy, obviously. But it
Was it
works.
from a comedian?
I probably stole that from there's probably 90 people have used that exact same comparison.
Probably.
It's one of those that I'm pretty sure has been swallowed so many times that no one knows which mouth it came out of anymore.
Yeah, probably.
With modern podcasting and videos and everything, I can't imagine how you can't trace where some of these trends are coming from anymore. It's not like someone writes down a poem and we all recite it for the rest of history. Someone did a TikTok 7 years ago and now we all say the same thing. We forgot what the fuck we're even saying anymore.
Oh yeah, there's definitely been some times where I'd make up a joke and I'd think it's an original thought, but then a comedian said it before me and I just feel like shit afterwards. It's like, oh man, maybe I did say that, but to me it was an original thought because I thought of it independently, but maybe I subconsciously already knew the joke, or maybe I actually did create it and I'm thinking the same way as real comedians do. Who knows?
That's a simulation.
It probably is. Maybe my joke was stolen from me. Maybe I made it up a long time ago, they stole it, and I just remembered it again.
I imagine, though, that's what comedians want to a certain degree. If you're not making money off their jokes, they want the things they say to be in our head so that when that situation comes up and it's applicable, that's the one we go for, is their analogy. I can imagine anybody who speaks for a living would love that to be their legacy. It's inherently in the minds of everyone forever.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, that's what any artist wants. They want their legacy to live on. So whatever they say or do, whatever, comedian, musician, filmmaker, they want to stick with people. They want it to resonate through time.
Yeah, and I'm convinced we don't necessarily know the legacy we want as much as we are surprised by the legacy we have at the end.
Oh God, I don't want to look back on my life and realize what I've done to people. Not now, anyway. I don't think I'm ready.
Isn't that what kids are for? Assuming you don't abort them.
Yeah, okay.
I was just watching our clip again, and I saw the fire in your eyes. I'm proud of you.
Plug here from the last Chase and Omid episode.
I'm proud of you, by the way, because I watched that clip again of the one that we highlighted, and the fire in your eyes of how passionate you were about it. I'm so proud of you and all of us for being able to talk about that and get through it and be as passionate as we were, but still be like, well, we still were just trying to work it out, talk about it. We're
Yeah,
not gonna, like,
I think
find each other later and like shank each other in the
Yeah.
bathroom or something.
no, that was a very good and productive conversation, and I thought it was worthy of actually sharing. Like, especially when that Roe v. Wade decision officially came out, I was like, this is a great time to market this because we already have it recorded. It's all set up. It's good to go.
Told
Let's
you
be
we should
relevant.
talk about it. I'm glad I brought it up. We should talk about abortion. I knew it. I knew it was all gonna be. It's gonna happen.
That wasn't an original thought, though. Let's be honest. Speaking of original thoughts, talking about
Well,
abortion.
y'all did let me choose the topic, and I was
Yeah.
like, I want to talk about babies.
I mean, a thing that's been polarizing Americans for 40, 50 years, whatever, since when was abortion invented? Like, not like Spartans throwing their kids off a ledge, but I mean like the actual.
Who is the first guy to be like, can I just stop this?
Yeah, like
I don't want her to have it.
who was the brilliant
Maybe-
mind who's just like,
maybe
I'm gonna
it was
reach
the
up
first
there
woman.
and just
No, I-
rip it out.
My brain
Whoever it
did
was.
reset right when I said that. That's his, do you think it was a guy? Do you think it was a man who went fuck it, or a woman to be like, I don't want this anymore? Who do you think was first?
I think it was a man that made it a public issue, but it was women that initially were just like secretly doing it. Like, no, I was never pregnant. No.
Well, I keep seeing, especially since Roe vs. Wade got turned. I said turned down, like it's on a date. I keep seeing all these stories coming out of the amount of women that would secretly, like some fucked up horror stories, like women that went to their friend's house, had the kid, never said it, would have just left and never knew what happened to it, or like all these crazy stories where they would just go into the woods and bury their kid.
Jesus.
And I'm like all these stories are coming up bravely, being like, if Roe was now that it's over, this is gonna happen more. And I'm like, are you all just fucking admitting to straight murder at this point? That's not. I know you're whatever the situation of like, you know, you were raped or like those really fucked up religious marriages where like the guy's like 45 and the girl's like 13 and has a kid. It doesn't make it better. It just makes it more insane. But you know, the bravery of saying that like it's gonna happen again almost with a sense of excitement is terrifying in a way. But you know what?
Yeah.
We did just jump into this episode, by the way. Do you want to put structure on it, Danny?
No, just let it ride, man. We usually find our rhythm like after the first 10 minutes or so. I've realized in editing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little glimpse behind the scenes there for our audience. I get real bored for about 10 minutes and then it picks up. So please stick with us. Please. No, I know people don't have an attention span for this shit. This is why I put clips on like TikTok and Instagram, because I get like right in the thick of it, and then people are like, oh my god, that's awesome. But then people never bother to actually watch the whole hour, so they take our shit out of context. They're hella mad about like 30 seconds of some speech or something that's completely out of context, and that's how the world works now.
Are we
That's how
actually
it
making
works.
people mad, but when they watch their episodes?
100%, because when you actually
you're
take
doing
something
it.
out of context, you're doing it to yourself. They're making themselves mad. Another shameless plug to that offense, really super meta right now, meta plug, because I'm gonna plug that Are You Really Offended episode, whatever it was. We actually took a clip from that episode, put it up, and people were offended by that clip, but didn't actually understand. We said, go watch us actually like talk about it. Like you watched 1 minute and you assumed everything about us. Like you, like all of our characters, all three of us, you put it together after one 1 minute clip. You just knew everything about us and everything we talked about. And people were like commenting on that video on TikTok or Instagram, whatever the fuck you watch it on, and that's it. Like they didn't bother actually getting into the actual episode. So it's really funny. So people are actually watching this right now on YouTube. Thanks for actually watching. We love you. But if you're watching this, if this clip ever makes, this clip's not going on TikTok, this little speech I'm giving. So there's no way that you'd be able to see this. So thank you for watching the actual episode. But people just take shit out of context or actually they're asking for it, dude. They want to be mad. They're doing it to themselves. I'm like, actually.
I like it because it's different. It's not like before where, you know, back in the day, if someone took you out of context, it would take like a fucking world and a half to try and figure out what the hell they actually said. Now, when someone says something, they take you out of context and they like ruin your name. You have that sense of confidence if you know they took it out of context to be like, there is a full clip. Let them dig their grave if it's bad enough, and then release more of it, and then they look stupid. And I love that that's always a weapon you can always use, because it's not malicious on your side. It's, well, you took it out of context. Here's the rest, motherfucker. Here's the rest of that context of that clip, and you can get into it. I mean, that's been saving Joe Rogan and everyone else forever. You take that he took 4 seconds what he said, but then you show the rest, and you're like, oh, well, the other guy's a dick now.
Yeah, but that's how it works. There's nothing new to like media or anybody who's trying to like basically they're trying to push their own agenda. They'll take something out of context. That's nothing new to society. If you have an opinion on something, you're gonna automatically cling on to the one thing that you don't like. You're gonna perforate that and make that available to everyone else. Like, yeah. I mean, that's nothing new. So I mean, anytime you put something into the public lexicon or medium, just like an idea, like an piece of art, your art, people consume that. And it's really up to them to redistribute in the manner that they want to present it in. It's not yours anymore, which is crazy. It's just like a weird concept. Like you can say something and someone else can use it against you, or for themselves and you without acknowledging you. It's like an insane world we live in, but that's the reality. That's the truth behind it all. And I don't know which one I hate the most, to be honest. I would rather be recognized for something like I said that was completely ridiculous, out of context, than just having my name written off completely.
That's some total drama. That's some total drama island energy. I just want to be famous.
Yeah, I mean, what is this podcast? Yeah, what is this podcast anyway? If not just like a medium for me to like, I just want to be like, just hate me. I don't care. Like, at least acknowledge me.
Well, I'm trying to personally build a cult. So that's what I'm trying to do. But you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's it. I just want people. I just want to be loved. but also if it takes hate for people to get to recognize me, I'll take that too.
I swear to God, like the fucking
I'm a sociopath.
I promise you, the opener to Total Drama Island, that should just be playing on the loop of when anyone opens TikTok. That should be the sound. I wanna be famous, and then TikTok opens. That's how that should always work.
God damn, fuck TikTok. And I know this. Didn't Vlad share something earlier? Vlad, for those wondering, Chaser over there, I'm not even going to make the joke anymore about who he looks like. You probably get it by now. But Vlad's supposed to be not here anymore. But, like, just for now. He's not fired, as much as we've tried. But Vlad shared something earlier about tech. Yeah, yet. But he shared something, speaking of weird contextual issues, he shared something with us earlier, like, TikTok is going to be taken down or something. But, like, all it was... Well, was the title was like this guy, someone in the office was like, I want TikTok to be taken down. And then, just as I assumed when you open up and actually read the article, it's just one guy's like 2-page essay about why it should be taken down and why it violates some guidelines on the iTunes and Android store. And Vlad took it as like an absolute, like, we should delete TikTok now or whatever. It's gonna be taken down. I'm like, what? Why? Like,
yeah, that's one of his conspiracy theories I like, because it's not going to happen. It's just like there are so many companies that are they break rules, they do all the worst things you can imagine, but they make so much money, so they're not going anywhere. You really think that TikTok's going somewhere just because China breaks some rules? Who gives a fuck?
No,
who
too much
gives
money
a
in
crap? Yeah, this world is run by who has the most money. There is little things in life that don't happen. There's general things that don't happen, but the big things, like a whole company falls apart, no.
Also, I just don't really see the concern. Like, how does it concern me that China is spying on me? Like, I really have nothing to hide, nothing to lose. They're not gaining any intel from me. But if I can benefit from TikTok's algorithm, I'm gonna use it. Like, why not?
Oh, we know you don't care about being spied on. In this episode, well, you figure I'm plugging up everything today. My God, yeah. I don't mean again. Wow, it's weird. Everything comes full circle. No matter whatever you say in this world is now publicly available, and that includes what we're doing. This is public information now. People see us. Where the fuck did Chase go? People see us. Now these clips are available. My opinions, my ideas are now in public eye. They can be used for me, against me. If I say the words, I don't know, pool heater. Now, like, Amazon is gonna just like send me a fucking pool heater suggestion in my email in like 20 minutes, and that's just how it is. And I accept that. I don't like it, but what else are you gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, get on a fucking, go live in the middle of nowhere, be that guy, build a log cabin, own a bear? Actually, that sounds pretty awesome. I would love to do that, but I'm not.
By the way, talking about, not caring what information you have, who cares who takes it? You guys were talking about targeted ads last time, right?
Yeah. What? You have an opinion on that?
Really? Yeah, it's my job.
Nice.
I've been
so
advertising.
You're for them.
Yeah, because I know what they do.
Finally, someone else on my side. Vlad out here is so concerned about people watching him jerk off. Danny here just
I'm downloading
doesn't want
porn
to be
right
added
now.
to.
I'm downloading porn right now as we speak. I don't care.
You legitimately froze for like 10 seconds. What was the thesis of what you just said? And I know it's something that I'm not gonna like, but just say it. Say it again.
Well, I'm in advertising, so I inherently
Yeah.
like targeted ads, but for a specific reason. That the point of them, and also they're only malicious in the sense that if you are nervous about what they're looking at, sure. Target advertising is not being sold the way you think it is. Some of it is, but literally everything we do is monitored all the time. So if we're about targeted ads, it's not even the tip of the iceberg, my man.
Well, I know.
Yeah. What I hate is native advertising. That's the scariest shit in the world.
What's that?
Native advertising. So the most famous example that I ever saw that was so obvious was, and it's not evil. It's just weird. It was an article that was by BuzzFeed about 10 years ago.
God.
And yeah, right. Back then,
Okay.
But it was a serious article about prison reform. And it got into detail about, how prisons are operated, the way that we should fix them. And by the end of it, it's an ad for Orange is the New Black.
Okay,
the
now I know
whole
what
thing
you
was
mean,
a paid
yeah.
promotion for Orange is the New Black. And that kind of shit sneaks into so much stuff. And if you think that that's just in like pop culture shit, it's not. It's in CNN, it's in Fox, it's in MSNBC, it's on Breaking Point, it's like on every news channel, YouTube or bigger, where they hide some sort of, maybe not Breaking Point. Crystal and Saga will not ever go that far, but it's literally promoting some secret video or company while also promoting them. That's how one of the ways that, what was that really messed up company that it sounds, what's the villain from Marvel, the really famous one?
Thanos.
Thanatos. Thanatos, the company where that woman ran it, where they were trying to do blood samples for in 3 seconds to do a full blood analysis. It turned out it was a humongous scam, and everyone bought into it. It was billions and billions of dollars of a fake investment and super big scandal. They did so many native ads where they tricked people into thinking the stuff worked by doing articles about blood work, doing articles about the projection of medicine, and then sneaking Thanatos in there as like a prodigy company that was going to solve it in a sneaky, subtle way, so you would naturally think that Thanatos works without ever having to really directly say it. And that's all over the place. That's the creepiest type of advertising there is.
Yeah, I actually saw something about that. You guys are going to hate me for this, but it was on John Oliver's show last week tonight. I saw this years ago where they broke down the entire, I guess, the veil of native advertising. Basically everything that you read, not everything, but anything that's native advertising is just posed as an article or as an actual piece of journalism, but it's just one giant advertisement. It's not even sneaking something in. It's literally just posing as something else. It's all fake just to get some sort of advertising across. And yeah, you are subjecting people and you're making them believe in something, but all it is just an advertisement. Mm-hmm. But I think it's crazy because that blurs the line between slander and libel. Things that are actually illegal, and you're almost lying to the public, but not exactly, because it's oh no, it's just an advertisement by the time you're done reading. People, I guess, they don't make it that far. I don't know.
Yeah, and pre-Obama era, not saying Obama was the same, during his presidency was when a lot of stuff in media, a lot of stuff in internet, a lot of stuff in culture shifted with his presidency, and then him, Trump, and it's all gone the same direction. Before that time, you had a lot more fair coverage of things. You had some more bias, but there were people that were just boring. I saw Sagar and Jetty from Breaking Points talk about, go back and watch 9/11 footage of when they covered it, and it's the most boring, matter-of-fact, direct stuff for 95% of it. Nowadays, literally even the smallest thing has turned into some hilarious culture war overreaction, and it's just ridiculous. So take that amount of journalistic change and article change, journalism, whatever, make it much more, entertainment style, and shove native advertising more into that. everything is up for grabs for being false as shit. Everything.
There was certainly a turning point in the same way that TikTok and Instagram and all these other like Vine at one point. You guys remember Vine? And in the same way that they like bastardized creativity and diminished it to just, I don't know, dancing, 6-second video. Like, I feel like there was a turning point at the same time. Why are you pointing at me? What do you want to say?
It's not a bastardization. Do you know 5-second films?
Yes, I love those guys. They did amazing work.
They proved you could do it. They proved it. And then Vine destroyed them because they pretty much stole their entire shtick and gave it 2 more seconds.
Yeah, actually, I hopefully I can plug them in here. 5-second films YouTube channel, like ancient days of YouTube. They've been around for a while. They're amazing. But okay, let me just say this: the same way that you could like you basically you turned like the artistic, you turned artistry. If you can't get something past somebody in like a few seconds, then their minds are turned off. You're conditioning the public. In the same sense, journalism took a turn with technology, where if like. You guys have probably seen this trend. That's all it is now. It's just because there's a title, and the title is either doing one of two things. It's either saying, "Oh my God, you won't believe this." ... It's just like, it's clickbait. Clickbait is a huge thing. That's all. I mean, that's all it's become, dude. Clickbait's like the last 10 or so years. It's just every article you see now is this big title with like doesn't tell you anything about the article. It just says, "Oh my goodness," or like this happened. Right? That's one version of it. The other version of it is like. They'll I mean, I guess this isn't really new to journalism, but they'll take something out of context and put that in the title. And I think it's more prevalent now. I don't think anyone ever just comes out and says what the fuck they're going to say in the article. It's always like a bait and switch. Like, here's crazy shit, and then you get to the article and it's just like cool.
There's
and so you
definitely
got
Yeah, but
there's definitely 2 big versions of that.
Yeah.
There's Oh, go ahead, Omid. It's been a while.
I was just gonna ask do you think people were conditioned to be that way, or do you think that there's just so much content out there and people are being overloaded by it to a point where we don't have the attention span to focus on something for 10 minutes versus the 30 seconds to see if it's worth keeping our attention there or if this other thing catches our eye? Same thing goes with titles of articles. Like nowadays, the title of the article is, you can already tell the political leaning or whatever these news articles are going, but then when you read the article, especially like anything involved with Joe Rogan, people know that they're going to be responsible. They're going to be like in trouble for defamation or some libel or something. So normally the title of the article says one thing, but then you read the article and you're like, this is kind of middle of the road here. But anybody who just reads the title, you know who they are because they already have this negative opinion right off the bat. But I just think that's just human nature with what we have available to us.
I'd say it might be almost cynical at this point which I love cynicism, so it's amazing I'm saying this. Cynical at this point to say it's low attention span. I do think at this point it's just there's so much fucking content. There's so much goddamn content that you have no choice but to grasp and claw your way into someone's eyeballs as fast as you can to try and get them to go to you. It's not as much an attention span issue as much of a you're standing in a grocery store in a chip aisle and there's 9 million flavors of chips. And you're only allowed to choose one. That's what it feels like. It's a fucking mess. And also it depends, like there's like a 2 million 2 miles that way, and you know there's probably some good stuff over there. You've never been over there, but it takes forever to get there, and it's all this stuff here. Might as well just do this. It's right here. I'm used to it.
I think convenience plays a big role in it, which is why also these algorithms are very important, because people aren't going out of their way to look for anything either. It's nowadays being shoved in your face, and you can either choose to continue watching or be like, this isn't worth my time. And nowadays, you also see a lot of these videos where they are going to be longer than a minute, but they do kind of like a suspense building. A lot of these like viral videos are more of like, all right, I'm going to set up this prank. All right, we're going to wait for the reaction. We're going to wait for the reaction. And you can tell it's all staged. Or at least I do, so I just turn it off immediately. But a lot of these channels now start doing that, where it's like just a bait for nothing, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a waste of my life. I lost 10 minutes.
Yeah, not to mention the amount of channels where this is the thumbnail.
Dude, Yeah. Well, we have not to be hypocritical, but we have a thumbnail just like that. In fact,
but like you almost have to. Like YouTube is conditioned as well, and social media videos are conditioned to kind of be similar. At the same time, like make it look like, oh, this is gonna be crazy, but also you probably like shit that looks like this because everyone does the same fucking shit, so it's the same.
Yeah,
I mean,
but ours has a pixelated cock
you
in
can
it.
tell how weird it gets too. Like 3 years ago, there was a. Like you were saying earlier about everyone does like the same crazy headline, like this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. That was my favorite one. 2 or 3 years ago, everyone was using the tagline in their videos of like Nancy Pelosi got nuked from orbit with this remark, and it's like, what the fuck? Nuked from orbit. Nuked from orbit was used for like 6 months, and it was. I mean, at first it was a joke, and then everyone just meant it seriously, and that's how that usually progresses. But it was just ridiculous. However, I will say quickly for articles, they are much more malicious about it because when they start with the headline and say, you know, this guy murdered this person, and then the article will go into like all the conspiracy and hearsay about it, and then at the very end of the article, it says, by the way, that person didn't murder this person. That never happened. We're sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything that's new to news, I guess, if you want to call it that. But when you make it available to everybody with a little phone on their, like, anyone can just post whatever they want now. There's tons of mediums for people, and they have this little device in their hands that has access to all those mediums. God, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I wanted to touch base on like something that Omid said before I even get back to the journalism thing. Omid, you mentioned something. So about the fake prank videos, I have never seen such a more useless. You can call it an art form, but that would be an insult to art. I don't know why they exist. I don't know how they exist. Fake prank videos take the worst of two worlds and put them together. So when you watch a prank video, it's got to be real, number one, or else it's not a prank. So what the fuck are you doing? I can't believe people watch this shit. I fucking livid whenever I see like a video of someone setting up a prank video. Not only are they prolonging the prank because they're trying to get to the amount of views that they want or whatever for them to, monetize their channel. That's the fucking, let's get that right out of the way. If you're not doing anything within like the first 10 seconds in a prank video, if you're just setting up the prank and you're taking 5 minutes your sweet fucking time to set it up, fuck you. I know what you're doing. All right, you may sucker the rest of them. You may sucker the rest of these fucking sheep in the world who watch your videos and you get the fucking monetization. I'm not that guy. Omid's not that guy. Thank you for shutting the video off. You're doing everybody a service. I digress. And then it goes on to the fucking the prank and gets to and are you numb in the fucking brain? You realize the people in the video are all like peers. They're all the same age. They all fucking like. Do you understand? They're not actually they're not real victims. Like the people who are being pranked aren't real. None of it's real. The prank itself is completely outlandish too most of the time. It's like I remember seeing one where this guy like tied two people's belts together who were sitting on a bench as if the entire fucking time no one heard this guy behind him going click 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 click. Like, people aren't fucking dumb. All right, they're not that dumb. You're dumb for watching the video, but people sitting on a bench, like, their auditory responses aren't that inebriated. They'll understand what the fuck's going on behind them. I don't care how deep you are into your phone, okay?
What video is living rent-free in your head? What video is in your head right now that's making you this angry? There's got to be like something.
I saw this a while ago, and I don't remember the actual. I'm just telling you what happened.
Let him go. Let him keep going. Give me an example.
Okay.
Give me an example.
Okay, I just gave you the example. It was a prank where two girls are sitting on a park bench, and this guy looped their belts together or something like that. And it took them like 10 minutes to do it. And I didn't sit through the whole thing. I was just like, okay, I get it. You're fucking doing this bullshit. And I skip to the end, and they get up, and they look at each other like, what happened? And they slam into each other like, oh my God, we're a couple of dumb bitches. We had no idea our belts were tied or something. It's like, the whole thing was fucking fake. So what avenue of thought are you thinking here? If you're open to a fake world where you're allowed to just create whatever you want and make it as whimsical and as crazy as you want, whatever piece of your imagination is allowed to go out there, you can put it into writing, make a video of it. Why do something like a prank is all I'm saying. Why not actually create something beautiful if it's going to be fake, all right? But if you're going to make a prank, actually make it a prank. Like, hurt somebody. Not really hurt somebody, but like make them uncomfortable. Do something that's actually going to get real reaction out of somebody. So...
yeah, it makes you respect the guys that like go up to homeless people and throw money at them because at least they're taking a risk of getting stabbed.
God, I would take that over this piece of fucking garbage. I really would. I honestly would. I feel bad for the homeless guy, the poor guy who didn't ask to be on film, who's having money chucked at them or having or bum fights or something that just like creates some like moral like.
That was a thing, by the way. Like, did you ever see bum fights on YouTube?
It predates YouTube, dude. Bum fights were amazing.
Great.
Yeah,
it was great.
If you're gonna take advantage of people, you might as well make it real. Is all I'm saying. So fake prank videos have no place in this world. They should not exist, and yet they garner millions of views and they get monetized. And this, I know there's like this one guy. His fucking face makes me ill to my stomach. I don't want to I know exactly what he looks like, and I know exactly what videos he makes, and they're all the same premise: fake fucking videos, fake pranks with all of his fucking friends. And I don't know if people like to watch them and understand that they're fake pranks. That's crazy. If you acknowledge that they're fake pranks, why are you entertained by them? It's ridiculous.
They're hurting kids.
But they're not really hurting
They're allowed
kids.
to. They're allowed to, but that's their audience.
But it's
a bunch
not
of kids.
real.
Like, it's so crazy. It's like Minecraft. It's like YouTubers who do Minecraft and hate it, like J-Slat. Like, I'm more than sure J-Slat hates 95% of the Minecraft stuff he does. But he's like, it makes me money. But at least J-Slat's honest about it. J-Slat will be like, I want the money, and I respect his New York ass for that. He's like, it's just for the money.
Oh my god, this is gonna piss off like 80% of YouTube's user base. But don't even get me fucking started on streamers, dude. My problem, like, if I'm gonna go down this fucking rabbit hole about the death of art and this world and technology and etc., I don't like streamers.
You
dude.
don't get what streamers are about. Then you don't get it.
Oh, so they're just doing what I do.
It's having a best friend. It's having a best friend.
Is having a best friend. Okay, yeah. I did this shit when I was a
like
kid.
You watch, like, it's like why you would watch Game Grumps, for example. Game Grumps, you don't even see their faces. They're just doing talking. They play games. It just makes you feel like you're hanging out with somebody. It's fun.
Oh, so it's sad and pathetic. That's good.
Well, yeah, I'm sad and pathetic. I love, like, Danny Sexbane from Game Grumps is one of my favorite people in the world. Every time I listen to him, it just makes me happy, and I've listened to him for years, so I know so much about him. It's just like listening to a friend.
God, it's so fucking saturated. How many friends do you need who play? You know, I did the same thing.
Well,
when
I
was a
have
kid.
more friends that are YouTubers that don't know who I am than real people.
all I'm saying is, when I was a kid, I'd sit down, like, I'd watch my friend playing the N64. He only had the one controller, and I'd watch them play, and I'd be like, well, fuck, man, when's it gonna be my turn? The crazy thing about streaming is you don't have to sit there and watch them. You can just pick up the video game yourself and then play it. I don't know what it's interesting about. Like, the video game is the experience you're trying to get to. Why watch someone else play it? You can easily
Danny,
do those things. Yeah.
Are you a fan of the NFL?
There it is. Yes, I was waiting.
Yeah, I knew that was coming too. Yeah.
You know,
It's the same shit.
Yeah. I won't.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, I could watch a bunch of people like play football. I do it every Sunday this year. In fact, I'm fucking infatuated with football. Can I go outside and actually play football? Yes, I can. Have I? Yes, I have. But here's the thing: the comparison between the two. God, I can't even say this because we talked about professional gamers too, who are playing really good. Whatever they're playing is good. They're good at it. But it's not going to stop the experience. I can go pick up a video game and do all the crazy shit that people can do in video games. I can go outside and play football, but I'm not going to be paid millions of dollars. My experience is different than professional, like NFL players.
I mean, there's a mental game though. Like,
yeah.
I think there's an appreciation for these gamers because they do things that you can't do. They're at a different level. You can go outside and throw a football, catch a football, but can you play at the same level as Tom Brady?
No, but I can pull off sick maneuvers in a video game. I can be Superman in the video game or do crazy shit in a video game. Like, there's nothing that confines me to like physics exists outside. I'll never be as strong or as fast as a professional, and I'll never be a professional for that reason. When I pick up a controller, I can do a bunch of crazy shit and play the actual game and experience it. And it's, I don't know, milk it dry for all I know, as a form of entertainment. That's it. We can go all down this fucking shit.
Well, I'd say also for esports as well. A lot of the time, if you don't play the game that they're playing, like if you don't play League of Legends, then you might not be interested by watching the League of Legends gameplay because you don't understand how difficult or how cool some of the moves or how some of the strategies they're doing are. If you never play shooting games, Call of Duty stuff just looks boring as shit. Or like, okay, it's just guns. If you play the game, you know how nuts some of the stuff is that some of the professionals pull off. Same with Smash Brothers, great example. The combo lists or that from Mortal Kombat. It's if you play the games and know how difficult it is, it makes it so much cooler to watch a professional like completely kick ass at it. But the same thing, I bet the same thing with sports. If you don't play hockey, you probably don't give a fuck about hockey. But if you've ever played hockey and you watch professionals play hockey, it's like, oh my fucking god, look, he just checked the dude so hard. It's dope.
Yeah, but at least one of them requires, you have to actually get off your ass to go play real sports. Like, what's to stop somebody from? You're literally in the same medium. So if you're watching somebody on a screen, you can just use that screen as the device for playing the game that someone else is playing in front of you. You can watch and it requires zero strength or effort. I don't know.
I'll make the argument. That I do think that sports is just as overrated as esports in the same fashion. Why the fuck? I mean, the only reason that a football player gets paid millions of dollars is because they get millions and millions of fans who pay hundreds of dollars for tickets and for merchandise. Esports is the exact same thing. People pay for merch and seats and all that. That's the only reason. That's why women's soccer and men's soccer is so different, because most people don't want to watch women's soccer as much as men's soccer.
Yeah, and I agree with you, but I do think that there is kind of an inherent difference of the physicality of the sports, because I think back in the day when people wanted entertainment or sport, as they call it, they had the gladiators, which were just a bunch of slaves that were fighting
Best
to the
slaves
death.
ever. Best slaves.
Best slave is the one that won because he just kept surviving, but then eventually they would die or they'd get fed to the lions or some shit. Nowadays, instead of having slaves, we have athletes, and these athletes are, at their physical peak, and they are essentially showing, I'm not gonna make any comparisons to
No. Have you seen
an auction draft. And
have you seen Colin Kaepernick's documentary?
No, because
I've only heard references to it, but I haven't seen it.
Colin Kaepernick literally in his documentary has a scene where he has a bunch of football players, all black, in a lineup, getting checked. Like that guy's a big guy. He could be like a line guy.
Yeah,
that guy
like,
might be a runner. And then
like
they turn left and they start
right?
but they turn left and start walking, and then they all shift to slaves in chains.
Yeah.
Because he says that all football players are just slaves. It's like, slaves with millions of dollars, banging hot wives, crazy, over-the-top, amazing.
Hitting
lives.
people with their cars when they're drunk, amazing, yeah. Like, they have so much freedom up until that point. But anyway, no. But
It's
I
like
think
the rest of us.
Like, people actually look up to these people because they achieved a certain level of physicality that either A, is genetic, or B, they worked really hard for. Yeah. Same with the success in video games, but I feel like there's a lot less genetics to the video games versus how much time you have to burn on playing the video game to get that good, unless you're inherently that intelligent or strategic.
I think you could appreciate the equal risk of ruining your life by trying to take that road, though. It's just as risky to try and become a professional athlete as trying to become a professional esports player, in the sense of you have a really high chance of becoming an absolute nobody, failing and fucking up and ruining your chances at a good life.
Agreed.
I think there's more people trying to be famous and trying to be esports players and streamers and ruin their lives trying to be, online famous. Hell, so many girls and guys are struck into OnlyFans and shit like that. You can go into that conversation if we want to. But,
easily.
Every time you try to do something where you get a lot of money and fame for being you or for doing an amazing skill, there's a huge risk that you won't win because the bar to enter and be in that league is so high. So I can respect anyone who actually makes it because it's almost impossible.
Well, it's also essentially getting rich off being lazy. Some people say sports is getting rich off
bullshit.
playing a game, and same with esports. But essentially, to play the video game, you just have to sit down and, twiddle your thumbs for a while. And I think some people think it's that easy to get rich off esports.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying some people might view it as that.
Yeah, and chess grandmasters are lazy too.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as that's consistent.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a funny comparison. No, I think a lot of people would respect a chess grandmaster. I think chess grandmasters should be respected pretty heavily, especially there's movies about them. There's a history of them ending wars and shit. But it's inevitably the same thing. It's a different skill set.
I don't think it's exactly the same.
I don't think they're lazy, but I do think strategy is a big part of war. And again, like gladiators, soldiers, war. It requires strategy as well, and it's a mind game. That's why I give esports the respect it's due, because a lot of the times it's strategy more than anything, and that's really hard to do. And you train, or you learn, or you play all these games, and you get better. Your skills get better. You improve. So I just see a lot of people that can see esports as being the lazy version of sports. That's because it's not actually physically active, but it's a mental thing, which a lot of people that are into sports are more of like meatheads, like, oh yeah, big men hit each other.
Which I respect massively too, because the diet, the training, the amount of pain you have to go into that is a totally another thing. Yeah, in a sense of comfortability, esports is so much easier. But the bar to get in is crazy high, just as much as regular sports is. Just as much as sports is. There's so saturated market. There's no way you're gonna make money or be famous most of the time.
To get professional, sure, but the bar to pick up a video game is extremely low. It's a form of entertainment.
Yeah, but that's not what they want. An esports player wants to win big.
I'm not talking about esports. I'm talking about between all three comparisons, between chess, between video games, between physical, like actual sports, physical sports. I said actual sports. I kind of mean that. The bar. So if you're gonna between all three of them, the easiest to pick up and to actually just do it, like just to actually get into is the video game, because at one point,
money.
Chess technically would be the easiest.
I guess. Yeah, if money's the cheapest, it's the cheapest.
To that same argument too, though, many grandmasters are not known. Many people who are very amazing at chess, some of the top players ever, are not even known.
Well, you need patience, number one, and number two, it's I mean, it's kind of dry. It's entertaining to me. Intellectual people, it's entertaining to. Yes, I am calling myself an intellectual. Probably other people in this podcast.
Shout out to all the YouTube channels where you get grandmasters who pretend they're not grandmasters and take on total amateurs. There's I don't know the YouTube channel. There is one where they straight up just get a couple of different grandmasters and they go against some of the cockiest people who are not that good at chess and just
like parks and stuff, right?
Just totally wreck them. But in such a kind way. But like because they were so cocky and they get humbled so fast, it's amazing to see that reaction every time.
See, that's a form of candid like pranking that I can get behind. Okay, anyway, I'm not gonna get back into that, but yeah. And then there's sports, which you have to like actually go outside, do something physical. You're gonna have to hurt yourself in some shape or form. And then there's video games. Video game is, to me, the video games hold their place in society, number one, first and foremost, as entertainment. Like since the 80s, people just go home after they do their actual stuff, actual work or actual working out, whatever they do, then they pick up the game as entertainment, which is why it's the easiest to get into, because at the very least, it's something that's just fun to do. It kills time. People don't get into it like they get into trying to make it, be professional. It takes the least effort, I believe.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We all work our asses off. Well, some of us work our asses off. Some people don't work as hard. But, we all make that choice. Some people don't want to work as hard in life and enjoy pleasures at a lower level because they know if I work really hard, I'll get more. But I'm fine where I am, and I have no problem with that. I only have a problem if someone complains about where they are, knowing that they could fix it. If someone's happy where they are, that doesn't matter. That's great. That's the point.
Yeah. That's a good point. I definitely have my problems with that, and this podcast here. Oof, I'm a plug machine today. Anyway, so with that being said,
all of your subscribers, we're gonna send fucking waves at people. All fucking 60 of them.
I'm building that cult for you, bro. Come on, I'm doing this for you.
Oh no, I got them all down here. They're fine.
Okay, cool. In your basement happy. Down here?
Yeah, I'm making a Longhorn Bolognese tonight.
Oh, amazing. Well, that's good. I'd like to sign up if that's cool. To be your cult. That sounds delicious.
Oh, I will cook for my cult every day. It has the best drugs.
That's amazing. Okay, so we'll continue with more Does This Offend You right after this commercial break. Stay tuned. Does This Offend You is absolutely, definitely, and undoubtedly brought to you by this 100% totally real sponsor.
All right, everyone. Today's episode is brought to you by this big-ass canvas of an elephant. I really wanted to bring up this elephant, mostly because it was meant to be kind of like a Hanukkah gift for someone, and then I have another friend, it was supposed to be a wedding gift. I kind of went out of my way to get it, and I just ended up, keeping it. So it has a story. The story being that I have a friend who got married over COVID, and he wanted to invite everyone there, and he couldn't. So, I decided to at least get him a gift. And I go up to his house, and I was like, what's up? We'll call him X for now. Hey, X, I see that you are a 6'3" man from, as they call it, India. And I know you got married over the summer. And if there's anything that, I know about Indian weddings, is that normally they have big ass elephants, and the groom will like ride in the wedding with a big ass elephant. So, I was like, I can't really afford a real elephant, but what I could afford is this big ass canvas here that is practically the size of me. And you can like hang it in your new house or something. You can think of me while you do it. It turns out he did not want the canvas, and I offered him graciously to hold on to it, and now I really have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. So, this ad is mostly a plea for someone to buy it off me. I really need to get rid of it. It doesn't fit in my car, and I'm moving out of my house. It would be massively appreciated if I could at least come out breaking even on this thing. For your entertainment, we have a didgeridoo, create some ambiance, maybe get someone to purchase a canvas of an elephant. And I did confirm with my landlord, she doesn't want me keeping it here, so it's got to go. Back to you guys.
Jesus fucking Christ! I just say, if this isn't already like an idea for a game show, they should make a show where like contestants just go on there and try to like get their point across while having somebody play didgeridoo hella shitty in the background.
Oh god, I'm so bad at it. I never got good at it.
Apparently, it's really good for your sleep though. If you get really good at it, it like opens up your vocal cords in your throat to a point where you breathe healthy at night. Oh my god. Are you pregnant? Abort that shit while you can. Abort it!
I'm sorry!
Oh, it would just end up being a shit.
I'm so
that's another trend I'm seeing. People going on the internet making like videos of like, this is how I started, and they press their bellies out, and then they'll like snap to like this workout routine, and they flex their abs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen worse ones. I saw the ones where pregnant women are slowly sucking in their bellies to show how far it goes. And then people will cut that next to them like in blankets like... I love that though.
But that's comedy.
Yeah!
I'm talking about the deceptive ones.
Oh yeah. But I will say there's, it's getting better. A lot more TikToks, a lot more the short forms. They're getting better. I like them.
God, why?
The porn's getting crazy too these days. Oh my god. Everyone's into Fuda now and I love it.
I hear trans porn is making it big now.
It's trans is yes, because now we are taking children and surgically changing them so young that they grow up really pretty, and now we all jack off to them.
Trans porn, but like trans people were very...
How did we tie kids on this?
To be fair, the porn community...
I have not jerked off to a minor.
No. I'm saying they got their surgeries at like 12 and 14, so that when they got of age, they were hotter, which is what a lot of people argue is why they do it when they're young. That's an actual argument. I'm not even joking about that. But the porn, give porn people that love porn a pass, because chicks on dicks was popular way before trans were popular. Hentai and furries and shit, they had that.
And pegging, it was all around.
Yeah, everyone drew the craziest fantasies, and now it's like, oh shit, some of it's actually happening in real life. And so it's the it's the fantasy that's coming to life that's making everyone kind of super shoot into it. So well done.
Super shoot.
Not making any stereotypes that everyone that's queer or gay or in the LGBTQ IAPBP plus community has to do sex work at some point, because that's the culture, and that's the only thing that the culture is. Fuck.
Is it just me, or is knowing all of the letters after LGBT kind of like memorizing the numbers of pi? Like after 3.14, you're just bragging if you know more numbers after that. That's how I feel about LGBTQIAAA plus. Like plus is when you give up.
LGBTQIA B2P plus.
So
I don't know what
genius,
B2P is. That's new. B2B is a new one. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Business to business. Yeah, I don't obviously.
It's all the advertisers getting into the queer community. That's what it is. It's an identity to identify on Pride.
I identify as a business that advertises to other businesses. That's
I do
that's
know,
good.
but like, isn't it true that one of the A's after that is allies, which is kind of like
No,
literally almost anybody else? Like, why do they need a
No.
shout out too?
no. Anyone who is a white straight man does not count on the list. So allies, no way, no way, no way.
But like, it's still one of the
queer is.
letters.
That's what queer is for. Queer is people that are even slightly not in the mold of perfectly whatever this monstrosity of straight white man is. That's queer. Everything that's not that is queer now.
But
That's
what's
what that is.
allies then?
Allies is a term for cucks.
Okay.
All right,
take it.
fair enough. Yeah.
You're an
So
ally.
it's-
If you're an ally and you're not queer, you're just a cuck.
I didn't say it.
I'm
For
bi.
once,
I
once,
can say that.
It
I
wasn't
got
me.
it.
I mean, you don't have
Well,
to be bi to say
I have
stuff.
I have the privilege of being offensive to my own people.
Wait, did you say you're bi or bias?
I'm. It's both.
So you're
both.
bye.
Yeah.
Cancel his ass. Cancel him.
You can't. I'll throw the buy back at you.
Hey, so
You've been bye-byed.
you're in Texas. Do they have
Yeah.
anything like a celebration of quote unquote pride?
Yeah, we have Austin,
area-
Dallas, Houston. All the cities are blue as hell. Well, not blue as hell. They're blue, and they celebrate it pretty openly. It's not.
Yeah, it's called the state fair. All the guys come out wearing makeup like clowns and.
It's called a circus.
Keep in mind
but-
too, the highest population of LGBT whatever people is in the South.
Are you serious? Where did you read that? Where did you find that out?
That's common knowledge. Everyone thinks they're in the cities, but that's bullshit. The highest populations are in the South.
You can't sit here and tell me
So-
that San Francisco isn't like the hub for all those people.
No, it's a cultural hub, but it's not the population.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's a cultural hub. It's not the population density. The South is probably the highest concentration of gay people in the entire country.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, population. Just by population, you think that all the gays just run to the cities? No.
Well, someone said. I mean, I
Maybe
I
they
think it's
skip.
different.
I don't know if they run.
Yeah.
I don't
They, God damn it!
what?
No, I love it. I love the stereotypes of it all. It's funny to me.
Speaking of
what is annoying-
stereotypes,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you, Chase. How do you
Mm-hmm.
feel about gay or straight people that say bi people are just gays that don't want to come out of the closet or aren't fully gay?
Probably
Probably true.
probably not. It's bi people actually have a very similar problem that queer people did or do, in the sense that a lot of people think they're bi. A lot of people are just bi, but they don't really act on one side or the other. Some people are bi, they're open on both. It's not as direct. Like a gay person will be like, just dudes, obviously. Lesbian, just women. Straight people, just the other. Bi, it depends on how you are. You could be more men, but for some women, I like feminine traits. So I don't like masculine dudes. I like feminine dudes.
Hot dudes.
Sexy dudes.
Yeah.
But feminine sexy dudes. I'll take
Right.
I'll take a femboy any day. I love trannies. They're my favorite people in the world. But, I won't do a masculine dude. You got a beard? Sorry, Danny. Sorry, Omid. Both of you.
I'm
Nah,
not.
you got
sorry,
beards.
it's fine.
I'm out immediately. If you shaved and put on a dress, we can talk.
Shave
can do
what?
Yeah, and then there are guys who are like super into masculinity, and so they also like women who are masculine. So it's because there are many women who are very masculine who are straight. That's just how they are.
Yeah.
And then the trans community came in, and they're confused, and I can't say it. Trans people aren't confusing it, but trans is confusing the idea that if you're a guy and you like feminine stuff, that means you're a girl, or if you're a girl who like masculine stuff, you're a guy. It's like maybe you're just a guy who likes masculine stuff. I mean, a guy who likes feminine stuff. So that's being confused right now, and it's going to take some time for everyone to get out of it, but a lot of people are going to get messed up through it.
Not to ignorantly claim you as the authority on this, but did they update the flag this year or something? It's not just
They
like
update
a
it. They update
rainbow.
it every year.
Okay.
There have been hundreds of iterations of this flag, and they get changed constantly, and they're not the same everywhere. And the one that's big right now isn't even the one that's like the one in the UK is probably the most modern one. That's being if you've seen that flag with the circle in it too for trans and non-binary.
Huh?
Dude,
There's a circle in it now?
yeah, I never saw that one.
So let me break this down for you. It's amazing because I watched Sesame Street. They explained it to me recently because that's how crazy this is getting. The rainbow part, that actually has a meaning apparently. It's like hope, spirit, love, joy, fucking whatever. Everyone always thought that just meant you're gay or lesbian, whatever. You're not straight. Happy you. Then there's the black arrow and the brown arrow, which I shit you not means gay or queer people of color and people who died of AIDS.
Is that the brown one or the black one?
It's both.
Oh.
So the black one has to share space with death of AIDS.
Nice.
But also they brought color into it, which got confusing because no longer about sexuality. It's about your race and your sexuality. So now they removed just like that's being clear, like not white people or not Asian people, because that's or Jews, I guess. Like it's being too specific again, and this the flag gets tricky on that one. It's confusing. And then you have the white, pink, and blue stripe, which is non-binary, and then you have the circle, which is a purple circle with a black bit, and then a yellow circle, I believe, and that's trans and also people that are intersex.
Is that a butthole or what is it supposed to be?
That's the part of the skin that's left after your top and bottom surgery.
I thought it was like a pink sock or something. I don't know. But...
Yeah, but that's what it is. So they're just trying to add as much. Every year they add more stuff to it to try and be more inclusive.
So
but they're just getting to a point where they're just saying they just got to say it, like it's just not white straight dudes. That's all it means at some point. Because eventually they're just gonna have to say it because that's all they're getting to at one point.
Yeah. I feel like the trajectory of this flag is just going to turn into a color gradient one day, and no one's going to know what the fuck it means.
Oh, this is amazing. And it got banned on Twitter. The guy got banned. He took the flag with the circle and the thing. Right. He found that if you just circle it, if you take this thing and duplicate it 4 times and rotate it, it creates a swastika.
Nice.
Like,
wait, how did he get banned from Twitter? I thought Muskie was allowing free speech.
Because he's not fully in control yet. But when he made it, he got banned in the UK because the UK actually has a law against that. The UK does not have free speech laws. They have law against gross content. So if it seems offensive or enough people complain, it's censored.
Gotcha.
Which is nuts, by the way. So if just enough people say that's bad. Can you imagine if this country had that? 50 activists go, no, gone, comedian down.
They'll just rush the Capitol.
Yeah. But he got banned because they said that he's offending gay people and Jews. And he's like, I'm just pointing out that your flag makes a swastika.
So dumb. I always thought the light blue, pink, white was trans.
No, that's non-binary. It does mean trans as well, but not always. Non-binary people tend to utilize the color fashion more, but trans people do use it sometimes. Sometimes they prefer other ones. To be honest, I might be wrong, and that's the difficulty of this. There's so much fucking variation. It's hard.
Just sounds like all the letters want their own designation, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, it's not enough. We don't all fall under that category, so therefore, let's just make this flag that the gays started and make it more crowded so that we can eventually just get rid of the rainbow altogether, and it'll be full of all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lawsuit. Well, no, sorry, not a lawsuit. There was a issue in the UK where a guy went to the Pride Festival last year and he had a shirt he's been wearing for like 20 years where it said LGBT. Sorry, he said it said like LGB or something. Like lesbian, gay, straight. Lesbian, gay, bi, or whatever. And he's been wearing it for 20 years. He's been on the forefront he's been like in all the biggest movements in gay rights. And he got kicked out of Pride because he didn't have the T.
Because he acknowledges the binary.
Oh.
He didn't have the T, so he was transphobic and removed from it. And he said, "I'm not. I've been fighting for gay rights forever." It's like, yeah, where's the T? Do you not get what I just said?
Dude, amazing. I just also appreciate that the LGB is now insulting because it actually acknowledges only a binary existing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which ironic because trans
also acknowledges only a binary. They're going from one to the other. There's no in between there.
Non-binary people say they're trans.
Interesting.
They're transitioning to a neutrality, where either they stay neutral or they are finally free to discover which gender they align to.
I think you broke my brain.
Yeah,
Which is very similar to gender fluid, but it's more accepted.
it's so convoluted. I don't know. I just don't care. I'll be honest.
Respect. You guys are trying to figure yourselves out, but it is confusing. It is confusing, and maybe one day we'll figure it all out. But my God, it's confusing, and please acknowledge it's confusing, so we all don't call us all bigots. I get called bigot, and I'm like, I'm fucking in this community. Fucking, I'm trying to figure it out.
The irony is more of a hurt to the cause than it is helping. You're creating all this. You're splitting everyone up. Everyone's got to have their own little specific banner. Why can't you all just? I don't know.
I'm waiting for it all to just be a plus sign.
Sure, like something like
everyone gets a plus tattooed on their neck, and if you don't have the plus tattooed, you're not an ally.
Or the equal sign is also always there, right? Is that just gays?
Well, equal is no longer necessarily good because it doesn't recognize the equity. I'm serious. Equals doesn't necessarily recognize the equity that we all have to go through. Equality is actually erasing equity, which allows us to understand that different races and different people need to be treated as their whole population as a monolith and not as individuals.
Well, fuck
so
me.
we can take them all up. Because individualism is privilege, because only people who believe in individualism have the safety and security to not be worried about dying every day from the white superior complex.
So you can't even use the word equality without offending people anymore?
Well, equality is becoming a problem. So actually, even the U.S. government and Biden's administration uses equity. They don't use equality. Which to me is a fucking shame, because that says everything that you don't believe in individuals, you believe in monoliths. You believe that if you're this color, you think and act just like that guy. You have the same problems as that guy because you have the same skin tone. That's what that is.
That's kind of like saying every Jew has the same opinion, which stereotypically they do not. You have 2 Jews in a room, that's 3 opinions, as they say.
What is that? I've heard that before. What is that based off of?
It's just based off the fact that Jews are always arguing, and everyone has a different opinion on everything. I mean, it probably goes back to like Torah study or something, where like they talk about all these different high spiritual rabbis are talking about one sentence in the Torah, but they have 3 different iterations of it, or opinions, or meanings of it. And so there's like always gonna be a different opinion no matter what. Like, you can't just ask one Jew for their opinion and they're all gonna have the same answer for like why we do certain things. It's the wildest thing, and it's actually very annoying. That's why I recommend you just find one, and that's your consistent go-to.
That's why I have Vlad. I don't even listen to Steve.
Exactly. Good, because they have different opinions. I have different opinions from both of them too. Just find your go-to Jew and keep them. But according to this bullshit, and I'm going to say it's bullshit, racist bullshit, yeah, they're all the same. So you can ask one, and they're going to have the same idea and opinion and thoughts about everything.
It has this. This is where, it's a very important flip of the phrase. You know when someone say the ends justify the means? That's so backwards. It's really the means create the ends. That's reality. Whatever you do to get to the top, the way you got there will judge and transfer how it all results in the end. If you kill everyone to become a dictator, that's going to be remembered at your top. You're a ruthless motherfucker, and your people will remember that. You don't just there's the way you get to leadership, the way you get to the top depends on how you get there. And the idea of equity, the reason it's always said it's socialism is communism is because communism does quickly lead to the ends justify the means. It goes there very quickly. So equity and communism tend to go hand in hand at some point. And it's just not human. It does not recognize that to get to the end, you have to look back at how you got there. People don't just exist at the top and people go, oh, look, they're there, they're wonderful. No, fuck no.
The ends being that, like, people, what we erase racism and sexism and everything, like a perfect world, ideal world.
Yeah, like we can solve, we can fix, like, let's take gay marriage. We can get gay marriage for everyone 2 different ways. We can work to get people to understand and cooperate and understand that it's something that could be accepted. Maybe not as a religious thing, maybe more of a civil union, maybe as a government marriage, but gay marriage should be more allowed. Or We beat the fuck out of everybody. We say everyone's a bigot and force them to do what we want, and once it's the law of the land, they have no choice. So fuck you. It's here now. Same end, different means. Everyone's going to react differently by the way it's done.
This still kind of bothers me because I'm trying to, like, we say treat everyone the same, but then when you have, like, a black Republican, all of a sudden they're, like, treated as race traitors and something like that. But they do have their own opinions. Like Ben Carson, for example, who's a very intelligent, talented brain surgeon who clearly demonstrated he has competency when it comes to underprivileged housing, but they still treat him as if he's an idiot, and then they share all these clips where they take what he says out of context. But then if someone's poor or in a way a criminal or something, then we treat them all the same. It's just so confusing. Even take I think Clarence Thomas is the justice, right? Yeah,
take what's happening to him with the Democrats. A lot of Democrats are, well, look, I can't say it's a swap. A lot of people on the left are saying about him. They're calling him an Uncle Tom. They're saying that, what he did because he's just a white whip black guy. You couldn't get more fucked up than that. He doesn't have his own agency as a black man. Or even worse, the argument that because Roe vs. Wade got removed, we're going to remove gay marriage, which that could happen because there's a lot of religious arguments about it, that government should not be involved in religious ceremony. Possible. But then they go on to, we're not going to be able to have biracial marriages or interracial marriages. We're going to remove that. It's like, Clarence Thomas is married to a white woman. Do you think he hates himself and the people around him that much that he would actually even get close to that argument? That's an insane thing to even say. It's insanely racist to look at him and think he's married to a white woman, but it's all just a trick to sneak in because he's just a white toy. Oh my fucking God.
That's the exact sense why I don't think you can eradicate racism. It's voluntary.
No, you can't. You can make the society a little bit easier about it, but it's always going to be there.
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Sorry, go on.
I mean, my point being is that, like, two people can look at the same situation, and one to them inherently is going to think of it one way, which is like, yeah, I don't know why this guy's a race traitor, or why is his skin color have anything to do with his politics? I have no idea. That's what they're associating, though. No one really asked them to. No one prompted them to do that. They just did it. Whereas someone else can look at it and be like, well, I don't really like what he's doing for gay marriage or whatever. There's nothing that would separate the two other than something that they innately believe. If you look at the same situation,
or something that's a phrase that's used by some people.
Yeah.
It was, I forget who used it. It was a couple years ago, and I don't think it was used since because it was obviously fucked up as hell. When someone said, "We're gonna take away your black card."
Yeah,
there was a more fucked up version of that I was just.
And there's man card was the original one, right?
Yeah, man card. Then it was a black.
Give me
card.
a man card. Yeah.
There was this one which I was just blown away by, which is he might be skin folk, but he's not kinfolk. I was like, holy shit. That's fucking crazy.
It's shit like that.
Yeah. And it's also like, I'll just throw this in there because that's an interesting way to put it. But I have a friend who happens to be black. I know, I'm not racist anymore. Thank you.
You got him!
But what's interesting is that whenever we have a conversation about anything race related, I'm automatically white to him, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, it's like all the same as far as I'm concerned. Like, basically, if you're not black, you're white according to black people. But then I was like, yeah, but then if you ask certain pigments, I am, like, not white. That's just a fact. Like, most white people won't consider me white. And I'll be like, let's be honest. Most racist white people see me as a terrorist, or if they know I'm a Jew, that's even worse for me. So no matter what, I'm gonna be hated. But it's just so interesting to see that, like, they are kind of enforcing the polarity by saying it's us against them. And it's literally everybody else, not just, like, different teams. It's us against everyone else. We are the only ones that are considered black. And I've guaranteed I've seen a lot of Indians, dude, darker than a lot of black dudes. But it's just...
I mean...
Yeah, it's pigment.
Yeah.
Doesn't get more racist than that, I guess, if you're literally judging someone by skin color, not even people who are like you. You know what's interesting
go ahead.
Well, no, I just want to say on Omid's note about like the fact that we're both Middle Eastern. I guess he wouldn't say. Would you say you're Middle Eastern by being?
My parents are Middle Eastern, is what I'll say.
Okay. Yeah. Interestingly enough, for the longest time, I don't know if maybe stuff has changed.
Say it closer to the mic. Just say you're the Middle Eastern.
Yes.
The FBI is listening.
Yeah. We distinguished this last time. I am on a watch list now, but
Move in, boys.
yeah. What I'm saying is, like, for the longest time on like job applications, I never saw Middle Eastern or Arabic. They just skipped
It's in LA.
What?
In LA, they have it. I noticed that.
Well,
I've
thank
applied
God
for a lot of
someone
jobs
does.
recently.
It's so weird that that's the one they skipped. It's like, so we are white then. That's like the default. I'm like, I guess I'm a white Caucasian
I
person.
always put other or prefer not to specify.
Yeah.
Always other or prefer not to specify.
So what? Yeah, why?
Just so you know,
why though?
Out of solidarity, I always wear lots of jewelry so that I always get patted down when I go through the airports. Just for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's solidarity.
God bless
You wear lots of
you.
jewelry. Do you wear a lot of tacky jewelry so they actually think that you're some sort of Middle Eastern?
No, they think I'm a drug dealer probably.
Okay.
Is the jewelry set to explode?
I do say it's bomb jewelry. So
Oh.
Dude, I legit actually happened to me one time when I actually grew my beard out like past my neck area, like right in this area. I'm not kidding. I did have this it was like Seattle 2017. I was on my way to Seattle. My family was with me. There's like 6 people with me. They all look like relatively normal people, but I looked with that beard like a weirdo. Let's be honest. Some people were looking at me, and there's a little bit of racism because I shit you not, walking through TSA with my family, I wasn't like ahead of them or behind them, just like in the middle of them walking to the same line. There's a TSA agent. You, stop that way. Like, they separated me from my family. And I'm in this line with like stereotypically seedy looking people, like they were written in a movie script for like villains or something. Like this, because I literally a guy with an eye patch in the same line. I'm like, they're just like, they're looking legitimately just looks. And I guess that's really all you can. That's a crazy thing. I think that's really all you can do as a TSA guy.
well, that's why you don't do
Oh my
morning
God.
flights, because you look angry. Everyone looks angry in the morning.
I looked angry and I looked
No,
disheveled.
you have a genuinely happier face. So they're
not with that beard apparently. I don't know.
apparently not.
Yeah,
I do think
but
I have a feeling probably people get pulled over more in the morning because everyone looks pissed off. They're like,
Very
"You look
true.
angry. What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm tired. It's 6 a.m. Holy shit."
Does that mean that you look more black in the morning if you're getting pulled over? Ew. Okay, I digress on the racist part. Anyway, just wanted to make that clear that, you know, everyone deals with the race. I think what ultimately I'm trying to get to is that racism, everyone says, is created in your mind, which is like something they're trying to get rid of. It's like, or it's a construct, right? It's not real.
Oh, the bias thing. Like within
Right.
2 seconds, you make a judgment. So fix that about yourself. How?
Yeah, that's what's crazy because
unconscious bias.
Yeah. How the fuck are you supposed to fix that?
yeah, but
It's if it's a 2 second reaction. Most of my bias, and like many people's, is that motherfucker looks a bit scary.
yeah.
That's the
Then
majority of
we
my
sh- we'll-
bias.
We'll have you live in Compton for about 2 months, and then hopefully you'll reprogram your brain to think otherwise.
I lived in Oakland for 2 years, and I walked in some of the shadiest parts. I had dudes walk right up to me, and I got nearly jacked twice. Same reaction, same time. It's like, that dude looks fucking sketchy. I'm not going to cross the street necessarily. But I'm going to be like, fuck off. And just, I generally just don't like people who look scary. If you walk around with a general hunch like this, nah. You walk a bit higher, I'm in. You look up at me, I'm in. It's not a color thing. It's not a color thing. It's how it may be how you dress. If you cover your face, yeah, I'm a bit fucking nervous. Yeah, it's not your color.
Yeah, we talked about this episode 3. Actually, I remember. It's, you know, your senses are there to do a job, and part of that is his judgment. You know, like you can tell depth. You can tell depth, so you don't like fall off a fucking curb. So when you look at something or someone, you're predisposed. You're making judgments. Like, racism aside, there's something aside that's making you distinguish between people, and it's like. And that's something to be celebrated, honestly. Like, I know it sounds so fucking weird and leftist of me, and I'm not even claiming to be one side or the other, but if you want to make that distinction with me, go for it. What I'm saying is that people are different, and we have to accept the fact that we are all different, and that comes with even the bad things, the things we don't like to talk about, like the stereotypes and all the shit that makes racism a thing. So I don't like the fact that we're always trying to rewire everyone's brains and saying that's wrong. Don't think like that.
Yeah. Not only that, I think those tests. So I don't know about you guys. When you saw like reports from like the bias test, was it usually like white people taking the test and they're like, oh my god, they react to white people and they're more comfortable with them, and then they look at black people and they go, it's sometimes negative.
I wrote an essay about this. Yeah.
I imagine if you take someone who's usually around people that are the same color as them, from their same people, and they're around them most of their life, and you give them a bias test, they're naturally going to react to people that they're around most of the time.
Yeah.
And if you're from a city, and if you grow up in a city, and you're with people from all over the place, you won't have those same reactions because you're not used to it. You take a fucking black guy in Atlanta who lived there his whole life, with most people around him are black, or most of his family people he hangs out with are black. You take someone that's from fucking my town, Blanco, which is like 99% white, and you give them the same test, they're going to react to more positively to people that look like them. That's just how fucking brains operate.
Yeah, but I wrote an essay about this too, and I definitely spoke about how like the test evaluated that I do not have a bias towards white or black people, and I was like, oh shit, I have proof that I'm not racist. But then the rest of my essay goes on about how like there is a potential though that if the test showed me pictures of Jews and Arabs, which could probably look the same anyway, I'd probably have a bias there. And it's kind of like, yeah, this test is stupid. I don't know who you gave it to, but I'm sure like all the white people probably fucked up because they love their family. And like if they had a choice. They're like, oh yeah, no, my family is the devil.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god. Oh, that's right. I mean, that's a big thing in this country, especially, is white hating white people.
Yeah,
That's a
I have a
huge
lot
thing.
more. I have a lot more white people that get in my face about social justice shit than anybody else. I kind of love it, but at the same time, it can get annoying. But when you really want to make a white person that has that like insecurity in their life, just make them feel even more uncomfortable and making those jokes in front of them and other people and have everyone around them laugh except for them. I love it.
No, but they're your allies. What are you doing?
I remember there was I don't know if I said this on this podcast the first time I came in. There was a party that Vlad and his Michael was throwing, and I went there, and they invited their friends, and is he married now? Are they married now?
Vlad?
Mike?
No, Michael.
Michael? We don't
Mike
know this
Val?
guy.
Vlad's friend was throwing a party. Michael, I think he was Slavsky, and his girlfriend at the time, and they invited all their friends. Vlad's all his friends, lots of Jews, lots of Arabs, my lovers, my friends, and his girlfriend invited one of her friends who was a gender studies major. Which, in that group of people, holy crap, okay, and she also had the belief that she can't tell us any information unless we pay her.
What? What does that mean?
Because she went to school for gender studies, so we want to ask her any questions about it. We need to pay her for her time.
Prostitute. Got it. Continue.
It's an intellectual.
No, she's just trying to make money off a major that makes you zero money, and she realized it a little late.
Yep.
Dumbass.
Yep. And she was fine at the beginning, and we were getting along. And then we brought up Star Wars, and this was during episode 7, where everyone was saying if you didn't like Haldo, it's because you hate women. Not that they wrote her terribly and they made her incredibly obnoxious and shitty, and it didn't make sense to like her even with her flip. And I made that argument. She's like, well, you just hate women. And we went on a rant for a little bit, and then she kind of 180 the question and looked at me and went, hey, I forget how it got there, but she asked me, like, do you think black people can be racist? And I'm like, yeah, everybody can be racist. And her eyes got crazy wide, and she looked like she was shaking. She got up, and we were both in a hot tub, by the way, which made this hilarious. She got up and ran. And what I love is she ran to Vlad and Steve and everybody else smoking around a hookah, a bunch of people. She ran up to them. I could hear her from a distance because they told me as well, but I could hear it. She said, your friend Chase is a white supremacist. Because I told her that black people can be racist.
Nice.
And know what they all said?
Ah.
And I love Vlad to death because it's perfectly with his words. So he looked at her and went, yeah, we all are. Just to fuck with her. And she went and cried and got so fucking pissed. And I did something I don't regret because of the way I ended it, but I did the dumbest, cuckiest thing, which was I felt bad that she was sad. And I knew it was going to end badly the way I walked into the room. I go upstairs where she's sitting there, and Slavsky's girlfriend is sitting next to her like a dog. She's in the chair, and she's rubbing her head. Like, yes, my little pet. As she's crying out, like, he's a horrible person. She's like, yes, he is. I'm so sorry. Yes, he is a horrible person. Like, I know it. She's a lovely person. What the fuck are you doing to her right now? So I go up to her. I get on my knees next to her because she has to be above me so she feels better. I made her feel like she was powerful, and I went, hey, I'm so sorry. You know, I have a lot to learn. Could you please explain to me what it is that I misunderstood or what it is to go? Then she wrote the whole pay me thing, but then she got mad. And she just starts saying this tirade of like, you know, white people are fucked up and, you know, I need to be more equitable and all this. It was all the gender bullshit you can think of along with a bunch of economic and racial shit. And I just started looking at her, and I look at Slavsky's girlfriend, and she's just like nodding along, but like totally confused, not what the fuck is going on. And I'm realizing this girl is just on a power trip. It's a huge power trip. Her whole gender studies major, everything about her is just to have power over everyone else and be able to be a dick of a person. So I stand up, look right at her, and be like, you know what? I know you have your opinions, but honestly, I couldn't give a fuck anymore. I think you're a bad person, and I think you need to work on it because I don't think you realize how beyond wrong you are. And I don't care if you don't agree, but I'm done. And I left, and I just sort of, and I hope she's not friends with her anymore because she deserves better than that. But like, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. That's how weird that shit was then. And just think about how things are now, man. It's just a nightmare.
It's only gotten worse.
But more people are aware that people like that exist, at least. And I think that's the return. There's a lot more people that are aware of this stuff now.
They're pretty aware, but there are actually a lot more of them that exist to be aware of. I think that's the crazy part. It's only gotten worse in the last 5 years. And actually, I should ask Vlad. Maybe he still knows her, and she can be on the show. It'd be interesting to bring you guys both together again and see how that works.
I don't think we can afford her.
Oh, that's right.
I bet all she has is her OnlyFans to keep her up.
I think maybe it's been 5 years. Maybe at this point she'll be paying us. She needs the exposure.
I genuinely hope that she's okay. I genuinely hope she's okay. I totally disagree with her. I thought she was a terrible person. Her views were terrible. But everyone gets confused. I genuinely hope she's okay.
Oh, the pity
I will make fun of her, though. I'll make fun of her forever, though. But I'll make fun of her forever. But I genuinely hope she's okay.
Oh, there's no way she's going to recover from this. Oh, my God.
I would love it if I found out she's been following my career my entire life, trying to find a way of something to ruin me on. Because I'm not online almost at all, except for this podcast, apparently. So
yeah. Now there's evidence.
Now she has, but then she has me also deep throwing a dick. So I think she can't get near me.
Fantastic.
No, she's gonna be talking past the cock. Like, I'm trying to talk to you, chase you white supremacist, and you're like, yeah, keep talking while I deep throat this black cock. Oh.
Stop deep throwing that dick. You're so homophobic.
Jesus
no,
Christ.
I'm not, because I'm putting in the effort to not make it to thee, you selfish bitch.
Yeah. Actually, I was actually pretty good about that. I didn't scrape it at all.
Good longevity. I like it.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, all right. How are you guys feeling today? You all good? You guys get everything off your chest?
No, I could do this for hours, man.
Yeah, well, we don't have hours. Remember, the attention span is 6 seconds now. Anything past that?
No. We're in the age of podcasts, man. People might not be paying attention, but they listen.
Yeah, I got to recondition everybody. I guess that's what.
And we can make clips that are shorter.
Yeah. And we can make it so that the auto read system doesn't break every time, and people actually look at the clips.
I would hope so, but I don't work for any of those companies, so I have no say in the matter. As long as people are dancing, you don't really need the text function. So, anyway, so that'll do it for another fantastic episode of Does This Offend You? I want to thank our buddy Chase for being on the show again. And Chase, man, honestly, we love you more than Vlad. But it's
do I get more views?
That's the fact of the matter. But next week we sadly have to deal with Vlad again. But we will see you in the future. I almost guarantee it. So
I think I just need to be on an episode with Vlad again.
I think that needs to happen. Yeah, I agree.
And I need to make him have some coffee before we get into another talk.
So he doesn't look all mad. So he's not angry the entire time.
Yeah. No, I want anger, but I want anger that's slightly eruptive. You know, I want his cock to feel like it's bursting when he's talking to us.
Let's put him on cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably legal in the right dosage in California, right?
I'm almost positive.
I know that
test it
heroin's
out
legal in LA if it's a very small dose.
Perfect. I'll see you guys in LA then. Anyway, thanks for being here, buddy. From all of us here at Does This Offend You? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell us in the comments below, do you like to watch streaming? Do you watch stupid prank videos? Are you racist? Are you LGBTQ, FASSCP, WWE? I don't know, whatever the fuck it's called. Tell us in the comments below. That is Chase. That is Omid. I am Danny. Next week, we talk about how many times it takes to fill. Fuck, I fucked that up. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta do it again.
No, keep going. Keep this in.
Right.
Let them know how human you are. You keep this in.
All right,
You're
fine.
human.
Fine. Next week, we talk about how many times you have to jack off to fill up a bathtub. Thanks. See you soon.
Does